Hello, I'm Gil Zilkha, and welcome to my channel. This is my series entitled Essential Classical Music, where we look at the best recordings of the major classical music works. This video is taken out of my larger video where I cover the major concerto recordings. And if you enjoy this, I hope you'll take the time to also watch that larger one. Just know that you don't have to watch the entire thing in one big long take. It is divided into chapters, so it's really easy to just click through and view whichever work you're curious about. So I hope you enjoy it. Now we've come to the last composer of all, Vivaldi. Let's talk about the Vivaldi Four Seasons. And this is really a piece that, it's maybe not everyone knows. It's called the Four Seasons, but it's actually a set of violin concertos, four violin concertos. And so it does feature a soloist, but I would say compared to most violin concertos, the conductor and the ensemble is very important as well. My prime recommendation for this one is an old classic, well, quasi-old, I guess it's still a fairly good sound. And this is the one from Neville Marriner and the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields with Alan Loveday as the violin soloist. It was recorded in 1969. It sounds great. It still sounds very good. And it's just beautiful. It's just ethereal. You feel like you're traveling into this I know this sounds hokey, but it just feels like you're in this magical world. It's just so, the sound they produce is just so gorgeous. It's sumptuously recorded, and the interpretation is excellent. It might be on the slow side for some who are used to some of the recordings that we'll get to that are the more modern recordings, but to me it's a perfect interpretation. Actually, it sounds very natural, and this was a classic for many decades, and I still think it's the best way to be introduced to the Vivaldi Four Seasons. Now another classic from a little bit earlier actually is this one from 1959. This is with Felix Ao is the violinist and the group I Musici, who are Baroque specialists who recorded the Vivaldi Four Seasons actually several times. In fact, they did one with Ao 4 years earlier, but this is the stereo version. And this one is just gorgeous, very passionate music making. This one is a little bit on the slower side, but to my ear, it still works, and at least as a supplement, even if you want a faster, more aggressive interpretation, everyone should still hear this one. Now, sticking with the sort of modern instrument versions, I want to talk about this one with Salvatore Accardo. This is with the what are they called? They're called the I Solisti delle Settimane Internazionali di Napoli. That rolls off the tongue, right? Recorded in 1987, an all-Italian group, and this is very lush, very beautiful. It's actually I would say a little bit cool, on the cool side, but very ethereal and beautiful, and very natural sounding. Finally, among modern instrument versions, I also want to recommend this one. The sort of star power one, right? Itzhak Perlman is the soloist with the London Philharmonic, recorded in 1976. And definitely this is, they were showcasing Perlman. He's actually balanced a little bit forward. The interpretation is a little bit on the slow side. This is what the proverbial big band Baroque style, but it still is really beautiful. And Perlman plays, he has that wonderful sweet tone. And if you love the Vivaldi Four Seasons, this is a version to seek out as well. However, let's talk about period instrument versions. There's a ton of them. Everyone loves to get their hands on the Four Seasons. And I think this might have been the very first one, is still one of the best. And this is from Trevor Pinnock with the English Concert. The violinist is Simon Standage. And for a period performance, this one is very full sounding, very opulent. It's not terribly fast. It's actually fairly grounded, and it's just gorgeous. Just a beautiful interpretation and very very nice full sound quality. So even if you're not, if you think you don't like period instruments, I would urge you to at least hear this one. Also, here's one featuring Andrew Manza, who we talked about 10 hours ago with the Bach concertos. He's accompanied here by Ton Koopman and the Amsterdam Baroque Orchestra. This is from 1993. And this version just has wonderful spirit and energy about it. Very exuberant. Just a joy to listen to. Here's a version from a few years later, 1996. This is Gottfried von der Goltz with the Freiburg Baroque Orchestra. And this one is it's a very beautiful version. It has a nice acoustic, a nice ambiance around it, and it's definitely they hit their spots with the dramatic virtuosic sections, but it's also got this delicate beauty to it as well. So that's a great version. I just have a few more left. This one is from. This is the Drottningham Baroque Ensemble. What, do I have this upside down? No, okay, that's right. The title's just at the bottom there, okay. It's with Niels Erik Sparf on violin. And this was recorded in 1984. And this is sort of, I think of this almost as a minimalist version, because the emotions and the tone is sort of held in check. It's sort of, there's a simplicity to it and a reticence to it, which may not be everybody's cup of tea, but it does work very well, and it's very beautiful and wonderful virtuosity as well. So that one is a strong choice. And then if you want something a little bit more, very fast and assertive and passionate, boy, this one is just, this one's on fire. This is Giuliano Carmignola with Andrea Marcon conducting the Venice Baroque Orchestra. This was recorded in 1999. And this one it's very fast. It may be even a little bit too hard-driven and aggressive for some. But, that Vivaldi Four Seasons is such a wonderful work that to me it's worth having in multiple versions, and this definitely is something worth hearing. It's just amazingly impressive and invigorating. So that is the period instrument versions. I just want to mention one more Four Seasons, and this one is the super old. This is the 1947 Louis Kaufman. And then a chamber orchestra was called the chamber. What is it called? The chamber orchestra. Concert Hall Chamber Orchestra, conducted by Henry Soboda. This is one of the pioneering versions of Vivaldi Four Seasons that popularized the work for the first time, and as you often is the case with these older recordings. It's not the faster speeds and the virtuosity that we're used to today, but it's also got this heartfelt earnestness about it. There's a sense of discovery here, because these were not, at this point, these were not over-recorded works yet. And I think they really do, despite the sound quality and maybe the you might say the antiquated way of performing Baroque music, they really do communicate the music well with the genuine warm-heartedness and beauty of tone as well. So this is worth hearing if you like the Vivaldi Four Seasons. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, I hope you'll also take time to click the like and subscribe buttons. And with that, I want to wish you all a great day and happy listening.